Okay, I'm just going to take a little walk around my small, very small office and show how much you can actually cram into a small space. So here we start off with a CCTV system plus its remote controller, and here's my what did I call it now? Fred Flintstone TV maybe. Then along this shelf we have a few of these USB SD card adapters, spare mouse, gym tags, itty bitty screwdrivers and tweezers, and lots of different batteries for different jobs, plus a solder cleaner for my soldering iron. Plus, if I back off, the CCTV monitor, which is currently has 3 cameras absolutely covered in cobwebs, but we'll get to that later. Then we move down to the rack underneath the shelf, and here we have my Asus tablet with wireless keyboard. Underneath that is a Fusion 5 Windows 10 tablet, and underneath that is a bunch of old stuff. Right in the back, you may, how can I turn the light on? I don't know if I can, but right in the back you can see the BNC connector. That's on my little kit, oscilloscope kit. Then we have a memory card container, blood glucose analyzer, oxygen, heart rate monitor, and back there 2 very old small video still cameras. Now let's go down a bit here. On the wall I have 2 battery chargers with interchangeable sockets, plus my headphones and microphone that doesn't get used so much these days. Now coming back around, as you can see, power outlets is a real problem in here because I have dozens and dozens of plugs and very little current. So I got all these things hanging all over the place, but it's everything in this office runs under 6 amps at 220 volt. And here we have the first 3 external disk drives. I think they are 2, 4 and 5 gigabytes. And then moving along, here's a USB 2 hub with my power monitor, so when I'm driving various devices I can check the voltage and current, plus a handy dandy little cable holder that basically takes all these USB 2s and puts them into all the different connectors, from power to micro USB to mini USB to regular USB and so on and so forth. Now panning back a bit, a recent acquisition is this small portable DVD CD drive. Now the reason I had to buy this is because I've got an oscilloscope kit arriving, and it comes with one of these little, I guess what they are, 2-3 inch CDs to learn the software. Well, my old Packard Bell PC has a vertical CD drive, so there is no way I can actually install the software. So for a mere £4.25p I got this nice little USB connector, USB CD drive, and there it is. Try and close it, there we go. And it's sitting on top of my Amazon tablet. Remarkably cheap and sort of okay. I wouldn't give it a million marks, but now I've got to go down probably into the dark, which I hope
this camera can pick up. But this is my quite old Packard Bell mini desktop, I guess you'd call it. And as I said, it has a vertical, let me see if I can open it. There we go, look, a vertical CD drive, which does not allow me to add or to use a mini CD. Okay, moving right along. Obviously, one of my monitors and one of these lovely little cheap Chinese clocks. And it doesn't keep bad time actually. The crystal's pretty accurate. Alright, I'll stand up, go across my wireless keyboard, which is actually a Microsoft one, which is quite strange for me to actually use Microsoft products. But anyhow, back behind here, there's my USB 3 hub, plus a charging point at the end. Now it starts to get a bit tight and busy, but here we have two 6 terabyte drives with my Amazon Fire Stick controller, plus my HDMI switch controller, and one of the speakers of the system, plus this LED desk lamp. Coming back up a bit, oh, and there's the HDMI switch. Currently I think I have 4 devices plugged into it, which is the obviously the PC, at least one of the monitors, plus the Fire Stick, and something else, can't remember what. Alright, scanning a bit further up, we have the soldering station. This is a relatively new one because that lovely yellow one I bought burnt out in about 6 weeks, and I sent it back and they said they didn't have any more. Will you accept one of these? Which was pretty damn near the same. I can move this thermometer out the way and there you see the actual soldering station. So far I've had it for, I don't know, a couple of years now, and it's been extremely good. Now will this thing go back? Okay. Now here, hanging off the wall, is one of my remote controlled Wi-Fi cameras. Remote in as much as I can view it over Wi-Fi or the internet, but certainly not controllable. It just sits there wherever I hang it. Now we come down to my desktop power supply, which is 0 to 18 volts and 0 to 2 amps. Lovely acquisition. Great product. Had no issues with it whatsoever. Now we sneak along, and here you can see the remote sensor for the HDMI switch. So that connects to that switch back there, and this remote allows you to switch between channels. Then we have just a little thingy, you know what I mean, internet hub. A fan for about 4 days a year. It's actually too hot in here since Rob and I installed all this thick insulation everywhere. So some days, not very often, it gets rather hot in here. Now we pan down to the second monitor, currently showing a spreadsheet of all my TV shows and everything, and my cheap Chinese vlogging camera, which I've been going on and on about, but it's a pretty good little device really. For some reason this one picks up more of an electrical hum than the one I'm currently using, so I guess it's just not screened as well. Okay, let's see if we can scoot in here a bit. There's a video camera, and in these cardboard boxes there are 3 servo units, which you may have looked at my YouTube channel and see me demoing. Now moving on up, there's an old Epson printer with my
remote pan and tilt camera, which you can do over the internet. And that's pretty cool. But of course I'm not going to give you the address because you can turn it around and stare at me. Then we come to the wide angle lens and bag and cap I just got for the cheap Chinese camera. Moving along, oh, this is a depressing sight. This is my inhaler and my needles and my sharps container, which, according to what I've been checking on, I'll probably never have to use again. Now, moving along, here's the test rig for the watering system for Rob's garden. And until I had my cataract surgery, I couldn't go beyond the breadboard. But now I feel sure I can. And down here, where is it? Down here is the kit to complete said watering system. It's going to be on a tiny board, so let's hope it all works out. Now, continuing around on the tour, here are my two voice over IP phones. This one is a California phone number. This one is a local phone number, and it allows, well, this local one is basically it's a standard phone call from anywhere in the country, and in fact anywhere in Europe. This one, 805, is anywhere in Canada, anywhere in the US, and I believe Mexico. So then we move along, and here are some of my component drawers. Back off a bit. Just some small ones and some other stuff underneath. Now we go around here, and here's even more little drawers, and these are basically LEDs, connectors, resistors, more connectors, and so on. And here we have a bunch of crap. It's just stuff. Then we come across the fridge and the freezer. Here is our freezer contents guide, which is a piece of perspex or plexiglass with a white sheet behind it, black lines written on top of it, and in theory dry markers, what they've called them, to keep it up to date. Now we move around to the new shelf. Here's my wonderful goggles, which are basically magnifying glasses, and tape rack, tools, books, so on and so forth. Here we have two plastic trays full of components. No, not components, they're tools. Here we have another one filled with big tools, and here we have one full of canned goods, and I guess that's primarily because we lived in California so long, we've always had an earthquake kit, but I guess it's not really necessary here. And a tray with all my current projects in it. Then some new stuff that's just arrived. These motherboard, this lovely little, whoops, stay there. This lovely little development board, but you can't really see it because it's plexiglass, and with a Uno on it. Then some other development boards, and then of course, if I can just blank out this light a bit, here's all the drawers with all my stuff in it, and labeling systems and so on. Say hello, Alexei. Alexei, what time is it in Hawaii?
The time in Hawaii is 9:18 a.m.
Thank you. See? Somebody does as I ask. Some other stuff. Here we've got bins of nuts, bolts, screws, batteries and other stuff. Then we have big tools, you know, like drills and stuff, grinders, chop saws and so on. Then we come along to the, I don't know what you call it, junk shelf. And finally some more stuff down here and a big bin of all the little things that you don't know where to put, you know, like angle grinders, cables and so on. And finally, of course, the flag of Hawaii and a couple of suction cups and then my calendar of what's going on, and I'll speed past that because I don't want you to know. Alright, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we'll give it a whirl. Cheers, bye.